Linhardt, there you are.
Observant as ever, Ferdinand. What can I help you with?
You have been utilizing clever tricks to give me the slip. But not today. Prepare yourself. A noble cannot escape from his duty. Hold these words in your heart.
It seems you really mean it this time. I suppose I have no choice but to outmatch you.
Finally, a little enthusiasm. You are bravely stepping upon the path of nobility. Let us begin!
Come now, Ferdinand. Don't be foolish. I can't possibly train with you. I have places to be.
Wait! I will not allow you to get away!
I can't run anymore.
Just admit defeat.
Can't we? Just a minute. Ferdinand, let me catch my breath.
Well, maybe just for a moment. I could use a rest myself. I am surprised you could run so far. I had assumed that all that lounging around would have dulled your constitution, but I had a difficult time keeping up.
The fear of having to exert myself really helped. You're none too slow yourself. It's been a while since I ran like that. It actually feels pretty good.
It does it not? Well, how about we say that thrilling chase was your training for the day? If you will excuse me, I am going to run even more, so I can catch you next time.
After all the running you already did, that's our Ferdinand. You always give everything your all, don't you?
And what is wrong with that?
Nothing whatsoever, Ferdinand. I mean that.
Let me get this straight. The stars aren't moving, but the ground we stand on is?
Yep, we're on a big round thing that's always spinning. And that's why the stars seem to move through the sky. Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's true.
I admit I'm having a difficult time wrapping my head around it. How is it you know these things anyway? If you were a noble, it would make sense that you'd have a formal education on all of this.
In the village where I was born, there were people who studied the stars. They taught me.
A village of stargazing folk, huh? Do tell. I've never heard of such a place.
It's a very well hidden village. It was a small settlement deep in the forest where no one ever bothered us. I was born there, grew up there, but when I got older, I felt like I needed to see the world. I couldn't live my whole life in one place, you know? So I struck out on my own.
I always knew you were an odd little bird, but your birthplace makes you a rare little bird.
Yeah, well, pretty soon after leaving her nest, this rare little bird was put in a cage. I thought it might be some kind of punishment for leaving the forest.
What the hell? You think that because you wanted to live your life, you'd be punished? That's ridiculous. Look at this objectively. Was it punishment? Or was it just plain bad luck? There's nothing wrong with wanting to see the world and expand your horizons. Take me. Had I never left that gutter I call home, I'd have gone my whole life never learning how to look at the stars.
Yeah. I left my village because I thought I'd find a better life beyond the forest. Now, I'm not so sure.
Regret is pointless. What matters is how we live right here, right now. You know?
Yeah.
Do you ever want to return back home?
I could say no, but I'd be lying. I've been feeling homesick lately. Nothing happened there, for better or worse. There wasn't much to be scared of. Everyone said the outside world was dangerous, that beyond the forest, all we'd find was an early grave. That wasn't exactly true, but my life was for sure easier when I lived there. I used to spend my days fishing, hunting for pretty flowers, running around for no reason.
A rare occurrence indeed.
What is?
Seeing you smile in that way. You're always so, I don't know, neutral?
That's not true. I smile when there's something to smile about. It's strange, though. When I'm talking to you, I can't help but let my guard down. I don't like to discuss where I came from, but with you, I feel like I can open up. You know, I've been thinking a lot about my mom and dad lately. I wonder, are they even alive?
You? Want to help me out with my magical research? I just need to open you up and have a look inside. No? Well, would you lend me a few hairs at least?
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Mr. Backup doesn't come by anymore, which is fine. Not incredibly rude or anything. Nope, just fine.
Hey, have you ever killed anyone? But only bad people, right? You look scary, but you're actually not so bad.
Pardon me. You get your hands on something valuable that you can't get on the surface? Money first, friend. How much you got? Ah, no, let me stop you there. That won't be enough. Maybe next time. See you around.
Hey! Winning the battle was great and all, but the after-party was a complete letdown. I guess I get it. There were some younger students around and all that. But still, what a waste. We needed some fun juice, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, it was still a fine time.
News of the affair at Ramire Village has reached me. The situation seems rather dire. Any threat to the lives of the common folk must be met with swift action. Oh, you share my views? That speaks well of you. You have more than a commoner's share of integrity. Given your concern, would it not be appropriate for you to depart rather than idling the time away?
I can't shake the feeling that what went down in Ramire Village is something other than a plague. I guess it's best not to go sticking our noses in it, lest they get cut off. Don't go and make me worry about you, friend. You're looking paler than usual. Stop pushing yourself so hard.
Chatterbox, what's wrong with you? Go home. Good. No offense, but you look awful. Get some rest, okay? Sleep is really important when you're feeling down.
Studying my preferences. Clever.
Right makes might, right?
Hello, Professor. I know that look in your eye. You want to ask me a favor. You want me to help out with your class, right? You just say the word, and I'll help however I can. Don't worry about it. You're just starting out as a teacher, right? It's only natural for those of us with more experience to help the younger generation.
It is almost time to begin.
Professor. Professor, you seem unwell. How are you faring? If you're not feeling well, I'd strongly recommend some rest.
The glory of progress.
What the?
Professor, I've been watching your class activities, and I wondered if you might desire my help. Just say the word, and I'll pitch in. Of course, I have to be truthful. It's all just a ploy to make it easier to research your crest. Feel free to call on me anytime. I'll be happy to lend a hand. And then you can help out with my class, too. It's a joke, Professor. I'd never put a burden on you, a first-year teacher.
Practice yields results.
Perhaps. They say that things rarely, if ever, go according to plan. Still, plan we must. After all, if we don't effectively force things to go our way, nothing will be achieved. How about you, Professor? Are you leading the life you envisioned for yourself? Your character must be stronger than most. Interesting choice. Thank you for this.
You brought it for how? Give it. Excuse me. I asked first. Her? What a letdown. You made the right choice. Here's your reward. I'll let you borrow it later, Catherine, if you quit sulking. Thanks.
I can't. You're looking. Oh, you found it, huh? I've been looking everywhere for that. Thanks. Wise indeed to set me to this task. I'm an excellent cook. Maybe. This is hardly a palatable ingredient. But if we season it just right, nobody will be the wiser. Wow.
It is still far from enough.
Teacher.
I was hoping we would do better.
It's a decent result for two people who don't get along terribly well.
Am I starting to master this?
I get it.
Now that feels good.
If only my research had such results.
The noble standard.
They say experience feeds growth. What was that name again? Oh, this is frustrating me to no end. I simply can't recall. Oh, I have it. Xanadu. That's it. It was not long ago that we were there. And still, I somehow managed to forget. Well, that place brought back some fragments of my memory. I cannot help but wonder why. I feel we must return to find some answers there. Yes, you are right. For as the saying goes, there is no time like the present.
Our professor is sneaking off alone. Where to, I wonder?
I don't recall hearing of any such plans for our class. Perhaps we should follow.
Intrigued, are we? Yes, let's do just that. We will consider it extra training.
Yes, it is all coming back to me. This structure. Oh, but it's
It's as though my memories are clouded. The most important pieces are obscured. But I once called this home. I have no doubt. I seem to recall something on the other side of that wall. I cannot see it, but I can still feel it. It is not my imagination. I know this to be true. We are already deep within this valley. Oh, what was that awful sound? Yes, and that was not a normal beast, but a huge and terrifying one. Look, there, at the entrance of the valley, a giant shadow! What is it now? Those hungry wolves. That howl must have riled them up. We have no choice but to fight our way out. Give it your all.
It's good we've caught up with the professor, but this situation is hard to put into words, actually.
Wolves to the front, hawks to the rear, and what appears to be a demonic beast at the canyon's mouth.
A wild beast at that. Or perhaps it's more fitting to call it a stray.
If we can't prevail over that demonic beast, we won't make it out of the Red Canyon alive. The first thing we need to do is reunite with our professor. The wolves are closing in.
I pale in comparison to my allies.
Another step forward.
Any experiences.
More hawks. This is bad. We'll be caught from both sides.
I guess hard work does.
War feeds.
I'm getting the hang of it. yet. I still...
Pretty good, don't you think?
This thing, it has no will or mind to call its own. That is the best you can hope to offer this poor lost soul.
Now I'm even tougher.
I'll stick with it.
I'm... The hawks are still coming. Perhaps we should see to those before we deal with the
That's life.
Could have been better, could have been worse.
Our work is done. My, things did not go as planned. Let us return before any more hawks or wolves join us. But what was that demonic beast doing within the Red Canyon?
I'm glad that you are safe, Professor. It was rather reckless of you to venture out alone like that.
I suppose we came out here without permission too. If we all wish to avoid punishment, perhaps we can all agree that we came out here for an extracurricular activity. Let's leave it at that.
Still, I would like to know what brought you to this valley in the first place.
Oh dear, I put us in a bit of danger there. We are most fortunate that those delinquents followed us. You very nearly met your end. What a marvelous professor you must be for all your students to be so concerned. You seem more confident in your ability to teach. But that makes sense, as you have me to help you out. How disappointing to have dived so deeply into danger, and yet to have nothing to show. Huh? What is this strange feeling? My memories. Do you feel them stirring? How curious. You seem to have grown stronger. And all thanks to our journey to Xanadu. It really was worth all that effort. Huh? You found this? I dare say you may find a use for that. You should decide how best to use that thing. But wow! We got a lot out of this trip. It was a bother for a spell, but in the end, I feel we should think fondly of our little trip. We actually had a delightful time, wouldn't you say?
Too weak! I've still got room to grow.
Unexpected.
Doubtless, this is a temporary game.
I am greater now.
Pathetic. Struggling to defeat some ragtag bandits.
Felix, you may know this already, but no matter how many you kill, more always appear. Anywhere in the kingdom these days, you can see the same kind of scenes. His Majesty, the late king, would despair to see it.
A dead man doesn't despair. Besides, let's focus on the living.
I must get stronger.
Can't wait for my next brawl.
It seems I've exhausted this topic.
That should do it. We've chased those ruffians away for good.
Thank you so much for your assistance. Please, accept this small gift as thanks.
Q. Professor?
This is my absolute favorite. How did you know, Professor?
That looks appetizing.
It's a decent result for two people who don't get along terribly well.
It's starting to take shape.
Am I making progress?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What is on my agenda for this afternoon?
Professor Hanneman, may I have a moment of your time?
Ah, it's you. Very well. I am quite busy, but if you are here to discuss my crest research, I would be happy to oblige.
I'll pass on that offer. I'm just hoping you'll explain something to me.
Oh, I doubt if I have anything of particular interest to share.
Why did you abandon your noble standing in the Empire? And don't say it was for your crest research. There are institutes for that within the Empire. You could easily have remained a noble and still been able to visit Garrick Mach, or request the cooperation of the Church.
Certainly that was an option, but I desired a better research environment. Treasures and holy artifacts reside here that cannot be examined by someone outside the Church. I required access to those things, no matter the cost.
But surely your noble status would have allowed you greater funding and resources. Even secrets of the Kingdom and the Alliance would have been easier to obtain as a noble of the Empire.
What you say is true. I cannot deny that. Both paths have advantages and disadvantages.
I see you're unwilling to be forthcoming on that topic.
I don't know what you mean.
I've heard that you used to enthusiastically research crests for the Empire. You abandoned the Empire, yet retained your focus on crest research. I just wanted to know why.
I feel your suspicions of me are unwarranted. I haven't the time now, but perhaps I will tell you more if the opportunity arises.
That song.
Oh, hello, Edelgard.
Professor Manuela, that song you were humming. I feel as though I've heard it before, long ago. And I'm sure it was you singing it back then. At the Opera House in the Imperial capital, perhaps.
Why, yes. You must have seen me there. I am flattered you would remember it. I performed with the Mittelfranc Opera Company in Enbar on numerous occasions.
So it was you. I went to that performance with my uncle. I wanted desperately to see it again. But after that night, he took me to seek asylum in the kingdom. When I returned to the Empire several years later, you had already retired.
Oh, that's a shame. So you only got to hear me sing once?
Sadly, that's correct.
Yet you still remember it, even the melody of the song I sang. I'm honored.
That's how much of an impression your voice left on me. I must ask, why did you retire so soon? You could have continued for another 10 or 20 years.
Indeed. Many singers perform for decades. But that wasn't for me. I wanted to go out on top. My voice is a gift from the goddess. However, as all things do, it will decline with age. One day, I will lose that gift. And so I decided I needed to learn to survive without it, long before that day came. I needed to prove to myself that I can live on, even after my voice returns to the goddess.
So despite your belief in the goddess, you wish to live by your own strength?
It's hard for me to explain. The goddess supports me both spiritually and emotionally. Everything else is up to me.